Hi, now let us have a better understanding on networking in a single host environment. I have started an instance within Play with Docker, and that is having IP address 192.168.0.48. And this is having Docker already installed and Docker daemon is running. Let us list the networking available within this specific instance. Docker network ls. So I do have a bridge network, and this is the ID and what driver it is using. These are all the three different popular drivers being used whenever I'm creating a Docker. I'm going to concentrate on the bridge first, then we will have a separate discussion on host and null in a dedicated session. Now let me get the details about this particular bridge network. Docker network inspect bridge. So that's going to give details about this particular network bridge and what are all the containers attached to this particular bridge, and as such there is no containers running, so nothing is attached. Let me go ahead and start a couple of containers. So I'm going to start a container with the image Redis and built out of Alpine, so that it will have the utilities like ping and all the networking utilities that we are going to use later using the exec command. It will be available. So this will create a container with the name redis-def from the image Redis and a tag as Alpine. So the image will get downloaded and that will get the container up and running. Let me go ahead and start another container, nginx-def using nginx and Alpine tag. So I'm starting another container with the name nginx-def and using the image nginx and tag Alpine. So the image will get downloaded. Now I should have two containers running within this particular instance. Docker container ls. So let's represent this using the image that we have. So the two containers got created. The first container I named it as redis-def. And the second container I named it as nginx-def. Let me go ahead and inspect the bridge network. Docker network inspect bridge. So this is going to have the details on what are all the containers attached to this particular networking 172.17.0.3. That is for nginx and 2 for Redis. Let me go ahead and add this particular IP address over here. So nginx got the IP address as this and Redis got the IP address as this. And these two containers will have its own networking namespace. That means they cannot communicate within themselves. Let's go ahead and try how that can be proved. Let me get into the container and do the exec using the ping command. So using the docker exec command within nginx def container, I'm going to ping Google and check whether it's able to communicate with Google or not. Yes, it's able to ping Google. That means it can identify where Google is running, and that's happening because the Docker 0, that is the bridge, that's going to guide the network traffic through this particular Ethernet port and reach the Google. And let me go ahead and ping this particular IP address 172.17.0.3 from redis-def and verify whether it's able to communicate or not. So I'm going to ping Redis from nginx. I couldn't. Let me do the other way. Let me ping nginx-def from redis-def. So this is also not working. The reason because both Docker container, it's having its own networking namespace and it cannot communicate. So basically this networking namespace, if I draw it very clearly, this is going to have attachment to this specific bridge. So through the bridge, it will be in a position to communicate, but they will be independent of each other. Now I'm going to create a bridge between these two. Let me go ahead and create a bridge. So I will create a custom networking and connect these two namespace. Let me go ahead and do that. Docker network create my network. So I have created a network. Let me go ahead and list the networks available. Docker network yes. So I do have a bridge type of network in the name of my network. I'm going to connect the container to this particular network. Let me go ahead and do them. Docker network connect my network redis-def. The same way I will do it with nginx-def as well. Now let me go ahead and inspect this specific my network. Docker network inspect my network. So that's having information on what is the IP address that it is going to assign. So this is the IP address that's going to get assigned through the Ethernet that is getting connected through the custom network. So the container got another IP address 172.19.0.3/16. The same way Redis would have got the IP address 172.19.0.2.3. This particular network will be handled by my network, and that can create a virtual namespace between these two containers. Now if I check the networking within the container, that should have much better clarity. Let me go ahead and do that. Now let me check whether this container is able to communicate or not. So I am trying to ping Redis-DEF from Nginx. Yes, it's able to communicate. Now let me do the other way of communication, that is from Redis to Nginx-DEF. Yes, it's able to ping. So in a quick summary, we had seen how to create a custom network and put the containers within the network namespace of the custom network, and how the communications can be established between two containers. And before creating the custom networking namespace, why the containers cannot communicate, and after creating the custom networking namespace, how the containers can communicate. We will be having a detailed discussion on the other configuration files in the next lecture.